7:04 p.m. It's a regular meeting of the governing body of the Borough of Bloomingdale, Tuesday, August 21st. And I'd ask if everyone can please rise to salute our nation's flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mayor Denley?
Here.
Councilman Shasta?
Here.
Amata?
Here.
Larissa?
Excuse absence, vacation.
Hudson?
Yes.
Stoudemire?
Here.
Gasky?
Here. Also with us, our municipal clerk, Brianna Calapro, and Dawn Sullivan, a borough attorney. It's an official meeting of the governing body of the Borough of Bloomingdale on December 27th, 2017. The date, time, place is faxed and mailed to all local news media and posted here at Borough Hall. We have no presentations, no early exec, no non-agenda. Need a motion for early public comment.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak? Seeing no one, motion to close. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Reports. Bree, do you have anything for us? Dawn. Okay, any council member? Just a couple quick things. Today we received notice that we are receiving $99,000 for our grant application to the county for Bogue Pond basketball court. So that will be a capital item for 2019. And the Leisure basketball court deliberately was pushed to a fall project because of the activity that the basketball court sees in the summer. I mean, it sees it in the fall too, but I figured let's not take away one outdoor activity during the summer. So that should begin once school opens. But this is new money for new funding, which we applied for. So very
John, what did we get last year?
I'm sorry?
What did we get last year?
99,000.
99?
Yeah.
That's nice.
I think we funded 150-ish, so 99.
Because we put into it like 80,000 a year, and we're getting back 99.
Yeah, we really.
So it's just really.
And the reason it's
paying out.
99 is if you hit 100, then I think there's the public hearing process.
Right, right.
So they kind of do that.
No, that's great.
Yeah. So
Quite a few.
we have time, but Mike, Councilman, you'll be involved in that when we get to the capital design part, as you were with the Leisure, and John too, whomever.
I thought that they were putting it on.
Sloan Park, plugging away.
Do we have a completion date for Sloan?
No, because
No target.
well, weather kind of set things back because the river should be low now, but it's been raging because of all the rain. Number one. Number two, they hit a ton of ledge in the culvert. That's part of the design. Although Councilman D'Amato has been there frequently, has seen it work already. You know, the river being so high is running through the culvert. That ultimately is going to be a final product. But they hit so much ledge there. It was drilling for 2 weeks. So there's a lot of items. I can't even put it. It'll probably run us into Thanksgiving, minimum. I'm thinking. So,
Right.
if anyone asks, say
They're asking.
hopefully by the end of the year. Yeah, it's a biggie.
I'm getting a lot of feedback, negative feedback. I still in the first place.
We're actually losing.
I'm for it,
Well,
but
nobody, they don't have the information.
Culvert is,
yeah, but I'm
Someone's
for
giving
it.
that-
is 40 feet wide.
If the project's been on the table for 7 years,
Mm-hmm.
if someone's giving negative feedback for just doing it, then they don't have the facts, meaning that it's a flood mitigation. This is going to 100% stop Main Street flooding. And for those who recall, over a 5-year period, 3 times we had businesses impact, homes impact on Leary, Reeve, and Ryerson. So Main Street will stop.
Well, just when we went through, everybody around us pretty much had flooding in that week of the real heavy rain. You probably saw the videos of Little Falls and all that stuff.
Right.
It went
Right.
right down
We
the
didn't have
center of that. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing,
Right.
and it's going to work.
Yeah. But again, it's not like it's a new, this thing's been, gosh, 7 years in front of the DEP to get the permit, so people got to get out of the cave and live in it and hopefully understand these things. But please, I mean, you know the information, so explain it. And but
It's
I
like
say,
talking to a wall something.
yeah, it's like talking to a flood wall.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Moving on.
Mayor, are we going to cut you off? Are we going to talk about this?
No,
Not consent or exec or anything like that?
I thought everyone can digest it, and then we can have a discussion on September 4th in exec, if you like. If we are going to take action, we could do that on the 21st and still be within the time frame.
18.
Whenever our meeting is. September 18th, I'm sorry. Right.
I do have something, but when
We
you're
didn't
done.
write notice to anyone, Mike, so I don't want to get into specifics on that.
Okay.
And that was delivered, being that the committee met, that memo, the council digested. So,
Can I ask a question?
sure, we're rolling tonight, yes.
Well, why are we just not voting on it tonight? Can't we just
Because-
discuss it in executive session? And
Because
vote on it now?
the individual wasn't rights notice.
Yeah, but we're not, why are we just not giving a yes to let him just make the promotion on his own without
Because-
discussing the individual at all?
Because I think, I supported 100%, I'll preface with that comment,
Yep.
but I think if we're going to move that way, we should do it in September, let the individual who wants no fanfare be here, whether he likes it or not, to be sworn in with his family and all that, 'cause it's a big deal. So I wouldn't do it tonight. For that reason.
I don't understand, why are we not voting to give him
'Cause this is
the
the first-
authority to say yes? That's why I'm,
Well, no, you don't, you vote for the promotion, period.
right.
Right, and I wouldn't do that without the individual being here. To be sworn in and do something a little more formal.
No, I get
We
that.
have to
I
dis-
just thought that
We have to discuss it as a council, however we do that, that we're willing to go ahead with the position.
yes, that's what I'm saying, not,
Right.
not having
Which
nothing
will
to
be
do
done on
with...
the 4th.
Right.
And then on the 18th, whoever that individual is, that will be the day of the promotion.
Well, and also, correct, and there's also, again, I didn't plan on discussing this, except for the committee, every other council member received this memo today. It's for the first time they're seeing this, number one. Councilman Del Ripa is not even here. And we have time. There's no reason to rush it. And thirdly, we're looking to see if, based on the rules of the test date, that, you know, there's a magic date of September
Oh, yeah.
that promotion tests expire. The chief was looking into if we can still take action prior to that date, but make it effective January 1st. For finance reasons too, partially.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for that answer too. Don't know
Okay,
if
I
that's-
just don't want to run out of time
we
after
will,
that
because
magic date.
we have the 4th and the 18th in September prior to. Now the answer is no, we can't do it and make it January, then we do it effective that night we do it. But I would rather give the individual the opportunity to be here. So why don't we do this? Why don't I put it on the 4th executive? Because this way it gives Ray, Tony, and Rich time to read the memo.
Okay,
We can have a discussion in exec on the 4th, and then on the 18th, you know, I get a feel, so I can tell the chief, hey, you know, council's going to move on this on the 18th, and we'll do it in front of the individual, vote on it, swear him in, and move forward.
great.
It's a good idea. I mean, the promotion's a great idea.
If you have any questions for Tony or
between now and the
Rich, if
4th.
you have any questions, feel free to give me a call, because we had a pretty in-depth, Mike and I, and Dawn, and
Yeah.
we had a pretty in-depth conversation with Joe.
As did
What
I.
the need is.
Or you can call the chief, too.
Yeah, you can call and ask him questions, he's
Okay.
always available.
So, moving along, because no one had reports. No, I'm kidding. Paving, kind of, because of weather, the contractor's been put back elsewhere. So we will be paving after school reopens, but I said I do not want paving the first week of school opening. It just never fails we do that. It looks moronic. Because we have a little bit of paving left. Kenyon, Whitehaven, I can't think of something ahead of the streets. But again, it'll be in September. And that's just the rain has put him back elsewhere. Same with Leary Ave. In case residents asked you, Leary Ave there's 2 crews. The first crew completed the sewer and water lines and laterals, etc. But it's the second crew, who's the mason crew and the paving crew. And there again, they've been set back on other work because of the rain. But the latest was today that I heard they will be returning this Thursday to resume Leary Ave project. Okay? Digital sign out front has been completely installed. I'm waiting at a meeting Tuesday to learn the new software, because of course it's different software than the other sign. So I have to have two. When I load up the digital signs, it's 2 pieces of software. So just pain in the neck, but I'll get it done. I don't know if you saw the bollards on the curve by King's Corner were hit by a car. I reported it to the insurance carrier of the individual. We're recouping the $5,600 for the damages, and I've already placed orders on the new bollards, including installation. That'll be paid by Geico, who's the carrier for the person who caused that damage. If you haven't had a chance to look on Bogue, part of our capital project was Bogue Pond sidewalks running along Bogue Drive. They came out beautifully. And then the second one are Glenwald sidewalks running to SRD behind the guide rail, and they should start, if they haven't already, before school will be open. They'll be done. And finally, FEMA. I have a meeting Thursday with FEMA. for the winter storm that was declared in our area an emergency. So I'm hoping we'll be recouping between $55,000 to $75,000 in all wages. Okay, we didn't have any physical damage large enough to claim, but we will be claiming the overtime for debris removal, and we'll be, again, between $50,000 to $75,000. And that meeting I have is 10 a.m. on Thursday to meet with FEMA, show them, give them the documentation, payroll, and all that. So that's good news, and then we'll be able to recoup some of that. Any questions on the items I mentioned? Moving along.
John, before you move,
Yeah.
I do have something. I have been talking on and off with Regency Lighting, actually Sherry Calabro.
Yeah.
And we were discussing the idea of LED lighting. She can do a free analysis in the buildings, and I mean, I think it would be worth it, especially if it's going to save the borough money. We might want to bring her in and hear her discussion, her presentation, whatever it might be. I did discuss it with the Environmental Commission just to see what their feedback was. Based on environmentally concerns alone, they remained silent basically on it. I know there was some objections on it. My opinion that if you had a LED, it is recyclable. The current lighting that you have in most of the buildings probably is not. I'm not an expert on that.
All our buildings are LED except the fluorescent.
Yeah, okay. It would be the fluorescent that you would be looking at.
Correct, right.
So it might, for free, might be worth.
Sure. I mean, I could do that in the committee or just,
Okay,
I have that contact information, so I'll reach out. And
okay.
I thought we had done that a year ago with the same individual, but I will reach out again.
She did say she talked to Al, but it kind of got silent after that. He didn't hear back from him.
Well, it was her pricing compared to a current vendor we think had to use. So
Okay.
Lighting, LED. No, who can argue saving money? So, but the upfront cost, I may have to wait till next year if that's what we discover. So, as we all know, a regular LED bulb for your lamp is 5 times the price of a regular bulb. So, good. Anything else? Anyone? But I promise you, I'll follow up and I'll get something back to you in a week or so.
Okay.
Item 10, I need a motion for resolution 2018 8.1 through 15. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
So moved by Costa. Do I have a second?
Second?
Any discussion?
Yeah, can you just talk about the purchasing policy procedures? What's different with that, or what's?
Yeah, it is required by our joint insurance fund. I'm sorry, the purchasing policy procedure?
Yeah.
It's exactly what we do. It's funny, when FEMA, it all triggered from FEMA. When FEMA, one of the documents FEMA required was our procurement policy. So I went and looked in, and we didn't have one. And all it is the steps you take for purchasing. So the document should be included in your book.
It is.
Yeah, and that's just, I went to our QPA, our purchasing agent, Rich Coombs in Oakland, and asked for their sample, and we just copied that, tweaked it a little bit with finance, what's specific to the borough, and that's all we're doing. So this will be a resolution forevermore on our reorg, and it's so, FEMA was what triggered it to make me realize we didn't have one. And I'm sure next time we have a Dun & Bradstreet or Moody's report, that's one of the things they're going to want as well. So it just memorializes exactly what we do, as far as when quotes are needed, when public bidding is needed, the process. That's all it is.
The $1,800 to Leary Whitehaven, 10 Whitehaven, what was that for?
That is, as you know, we got a community development grant for Whitehaven, and we're paving Whitehaven, but in order to pave it, we had to deal with curbs, and only one side of the road has sidewalks. 6 months ago, a resident was cited and summoned by the borough for bad sidewalks. So he paid $2,800 to replace the sidewalks. I'm reimbursing him our cost that we had done. So the option was rip them up, right, for $1,800 and redo them for $1,800, and he preferred the reimbursement rather than rip them up. So I have documentation. The contractor, he had to do it in 2016 or so, 17, but it was triggered by the borough. So, he's like, my neighbors are getting free sidewalks, and I was just fine by the town to put mine in. So, kind of beat him halfway.
And then the last one was that, the recycling single-use carry bags, what's that? That's
Sorry.
going to the state, right?
Where are you here?
You carry out bags in stores.
Resolution 218.8.7.
Yeah, this was a resolution requested by the Environmental Commission, supporting legislation that's being proposed to make it the law that stores are required to recycle plastic bags. I think they're going to go to try to elimination of them too. But we're not making a local law. We're just doing a resolution supporting the legislation.
Okay.
Anyone else? Okay, there was a second. Can I have a roll call, please?
Costa,
Yes.
Tomato,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Sondemire,
Yes.
Massey,
Yes.
Thank you. Pending item 11A, second final reading for ordinance 19/2018, amending chapter 32-2 soil removal. Can I have a public notice statement, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this ordinance was posted in the municipal building, published in the Herald News, and copies were made available to the public, and that a motion may be made as a reference.
And who makes that motion?
So moved.
Yasby, second.
Second.
By Costa. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
An ordinance of the Borough of Bloomingdale and the County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, amending chapter 32, soil removal, section 32, soil removal of the Code of the Borough of Bloomingdale.
Thank you. Need a motion to open public hearing?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Anyone wishing to speak to 19/2018? Seeing no one, motion to close.
So moved.
So, second.
Tomato, Costa, all in favor?
Aye.
Who moves to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? This is just housekeeping. We had over the last, say, 10 years, a couple instances where residents have bought in large quantities of soil to level a yard, and we really didn't have the proper controls in place affecting other neighbors. So this is what this does. This determines 100 cubic yards or less, 500 or more is a site plan amendment. So with the help of the ordinance review, this is going to help construction code official enforce that kind of item. Can I have a roll call, please?
Tomato,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Sondemire,
Yes.
Massey,
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
The next item is second final reading, ordinance 20/2018, complete streets. Public notice statement, please.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this ordinance was posted in the municipal building, published in the Herald News, and copies are made available to the public, so that a motion may be made as a reference.
And who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Sondemire and Tomato. All in favor?
Aye.
An ordinance, ordinance of the Borough of Bloomingdale and the County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, amending the Borough Code, Chapter 20, entitled Streets and Sidewalks.
Need a motion for opening public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak to 20/2018? Seeing no one, motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? And who moves to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? What we're doing here, every time we do a road, we do our best to do a complete street, sidewalk, curb, utilities, etc., transit in mind, connections, walking, biking, etc. And how this helps us is for grant opportunities. DOT and the feds look for complete street policy, and this is what we're putting on the books. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Hudson,
Yes.
Sondemire,
Yes.
Massey,
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
Tomato.
Yes.
Thank you. New business. I need a motion for resolution 8.16, Bow Drive sidewalk project. Again, it was a capital project, but now we need a resolution for the expenditure. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is 8.17, same thing for Glenwald Ave sidewalks, capital project. Who moves that?
So
So moved.
Second.
Tomato, Costa. All in favor?
Aye.
No roll call, please. Don't need money. We'll, that's fine. We'll do a roll call for the next one.
You do all three at once?
Well, we already voted on 2, so let's just do 18, White Haven. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? And let's do a roll call.
Conway,
Yes.
Yazdi,
Yes.
Costa,
Yes.
Tomato,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes.
Next, I need a motion for 18.19, payment of the bills. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
John, I got a question.
Yes.
00561, configure laptop, you got 471555. Then down lower, 752.
What page are you on?
3. Actually, 2 and 3.
I mean, I don't have anything in front of me, vouchers, so I may not be able to answer your question. So, give that again, please.
It's 561, 471555, and then you go
Okay, on page 3.
on page 2,
Page 2.
about midway, 08, 09, 18, the date. You'll see GTBM Inc., 1 configure laptop.
Okay.
And then further down, on page 3, you have 561. Again, there's a 2 configure laptop, 81404.
Yeah, I
Do you know
believe
what?
that's utility related. I'd have to get you an answer tomorrow.
For the meters.
Yes. But I'll confirm that with you tomorrow. That's why in advance I can get that information in my possession. So I'll confirm it tomorrow.
Okay.
Anyone else? Do we have a motion on the table? I'm sorry. Do we have a second? Any further discussion?
Just on line 01463, items 1 through 13, and there's another section with the same line item, 1 through 5.
You're accusing? Okay. Noted for the record. Anyone else? Have a roll call, please.
Yazdi,
Yes.
Costa,
Yes.
Tomato,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes, with the exception of PO 1800920.
Conway,
Yes. And I will email the governing body the answers in detail on those 2 items. Item E is being tabled.
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Tom, can you send it back?
Tom sent it back later this afternoon,
Okay,
earlier
that's fine.
this afternoon, so it will be
We have time.
hopefully prepared for the next meeting. It just has to go to Mr. McAllen.
Okay, this is a developer's agreement between the Borough and D4 Properties, which is the new development on the corner of Hamburg and Ryerson, the office building that's being built. In lieu of building 1.6 COA units, which our code requires on Main Street, they will be depositing $21,000 into our affordable trust fund, which again, we will utilize for our own residents to take advantage of. On that subject, as you know, Avalon Bay deposited $100,000 or $150,000? 100,000, which has been balanced now $45,000 because we've been using it. We hired community grants and planning to help administer these projects, whether it be a boiler or roof. Our own residents are taking advantage, averaging $10,000 to $15,000 a project. And so I get nervous because we have 3 applications that are eligible, and I didn't want to move forward because money was a little close on 45, so this is going to really help bring us to closure on these applications. And then we'll have to refund it another day with hopefully another development. So that's a great thing. So thank you, Dawn Sullivan, for your help in fine-tuning this because it was not a tough negotiation, just a long negotiation.
Drawn out.
Right. Partly because the person had a lot with the planning board process and a lot of stuff going on. So but we're in a good place. So our next meeting, that'll be on for adoption.
Yeah.
So that is table, which brings us to F, which will be in motion for 18.20. We're going to do 20, 21, and 22 on one motion. Can we? Am I out of sort? Should I table it? Oh, you need a motion to table?
Wait, those are orange.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. All with the traffic, right. Okay. So you need a motion to table 18.8.20. The developers agreement. Costa, seconded by Hudson. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Now, the next 3 we're going to do obviously individual because they're ordinances. But rather than speak on all of them, the Traffic Bureau and our chief did a real in-depth study on our traffic ordinances. and they're just making recommendations where some signage is required, where some signage is lacking, where stop signs may not have had an ordinance. They're really just cleaning house here, which is something I wanted to do for a while. And this is exactly what we're doing. Once these are adopted, the signs, DPW will then place the proper signage where they are missing, lacking, or need. So with that said, I need a motion to introduce 2118, amending 7-19 turning restrictions. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And second is a motion to introduce by title, the second and final reading. We need to review. So 1016 will be second and final on all three of these. So, okay. Just the first one? Well, should we just keep the motion? Just make it advertised in one shot. So 1016. Okay, so that would be, we had our motion for title. Okay. Did you read that title?
An ordinance of the Borough of Bloomingdale, County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 7, Traffic, Part 1, on street traffic, Section 7-19, turn prohibitions and turn restrictions of the code of the borough.
Thank you. Next item, I need a motion for 2218, amending 7-30, stop intersections. Who makes that motion? Tomato, second.
Second.
By Yazdi. Any discussion? And again, second final, 1016. All in favor?
Aye.
An ordinance of the Borough of Bloomingdale, County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 7, Traffic, Part 1, on street traffic, Section 7-30, stop intersections of the code of the borough.
And item H, need a motion to introduce by title 2318.22, amending 7-31 yield signs. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Hudson and Yazdi. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Second and final, 1016.
An ordinance of the Borough of Bloomingdale, County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 7, Part 1, on street traffic, Section 7-31, yield intersections of the code of the borough of Bloomingdale.
Thank you. I need a motion for late public comment.
Move.
Tomato, second by who?
Second.
By Ray. And all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak? Seeing no one, motion to close late.
So moved.
By Hudson and D'Amato. All in favor?
Aye.
There's no late executive session. Governing body schedule 9/4 and 9/18 council meetings. 9/11 is our 9/11 Memorial Candlelight Walk. We will be going from Sloan Park. It's safe enough in front to gather there and go right to Butler. We have time to keep marketing and getting it out, but we have 5K run, car show the Friday night, the 21st, 5K run the 22nd with Pride Day, and we'll talk more about that when we get closer. One final thing, because there was some confusion. We have an ordinance on the books that says we pick up trash litter. Our yellow recycling flyer says we don't. So it was DPW's position was we never do. They've always turned people away. But for years, when they're in the brown leaf bags, DPW just like takes them. So all of a sudden, DPW cracked down and was like, stop taking them. So residents were not happy because they've been getting them picked up for 30 years. So I was about to introduce a code or ordinance to change it so we were consistent, because property maintenance, like, how do I enforce it? The ordinance says we do, the recycling flyer says we don't, even though the recycling flyer is the gospel, because if you recall, our waste management ordinance says we set the rules and regs, so we do a resolution that says that yellow sheet is the rules and regs. Long story short, we worked with RER, our compost supplier, a guy who manages the hill, and he was able to upgrade his DEP permit to now take grass. So we take grass. So if anybody asks, we do, preferably in brown bags, so our guys can just take it in one lump sum. So we will be in January, Terry doesn't know this yet, amending the recycling file that says we do. So it was just confusing. I don't know if you saw social media. I got a million phone calls, Al too. It was kind of confusing. So residents ask, do we take grass? Until I tell you otherwise, the answer is yes. Okay? So anyway, just want to clear that up. So any further comment, governing body, anybody? Thank you all. Enjoy your Labor Day, and I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Josh, seconded by Dawn. By Mike, and all in favor? Thank you. Tony, I'll get back to you tomorrow on that.
Dawn, you sound just like Mike.
Sorry for you.
Yeah, I do.
It just,